This is for you, Capricorn. Earlier you came and it was pulling out the end of a tough cycle approaches. And then the number 10. 10s are, of course, a completion. And another Capricorn pulled out, so it's no coincidence. You most definitely are a Capricorn, and it's confirmation that the full moon is just ending. So there's something tough that you had to go through. Maybe you're internalizing. With Saturn, it's basically about balancing, and 9 and 1 in numerology breaks down to 10 too, right back to 1. So you're isolating yourself. It's balancing life, and it seems like you're doing it very well with the Saturn card that pulled. 5 is change, so you're changing the way you look at things. See how this gentleman is like looking at the balls and he's balancing them very well, and he's you know, like it's a very peaceful look that he's giving it to it. So definitely with the number 5 on the top for change, and the 19, it just gives me vibes that, you know, you're okay with being alone, you know, loner vibes, balancing. Excuse me. The Sun card is coming out for the number 13, breaks down to 4, which talks about duality. This is just standing in your power with the Sun card. It could possibly be talking about a sun, but in this reading, it's all about self. There's all these masculine energies, so these are all like intuitively telling me that you are solo bolo. You are working on self-love, self-mastery, you know, just getting rid of things that don't serve you, people that don't serve you. You're getting better at discernment. This person is igniting passion, creativity. So it looks like he has his eyes on the prize. He's very focused on something, business-wise or creative-wise, or both, creative business venture. Let's see, and then one comes out for show the world the real you, full moon in the Aquarius. So with the balance card coming out earlier, and then also the self-love that I could feel the vibes from, this is the universe calling for you to show a different version of you. I'm really tapping into the creative side, so it's a part where, you know, it's one thing to show what you've done in the past, but to recreate and reignite those passions that you have and show them the very authentic version of you. Because I have a feeling that in the recent past, people have versions of you, and maybe you don't let people get that close. With the Sun card being right close to it, and you see how it's, who can get that close? It's that person's very aggressive. Not saying that you're an aggressive person, but the energy itself is like, you know, only surface. And it's very like astringent, or, you know, like hot to the touch. So people can't get too close, where his heart is where the passion is, you know, really stemming from. But yet everybody's just so turned off by the aggressiveness and the fierceness of the energy. They don't get that close. They don't get to know this person. Even with the Capricorn, it's like, there's a lot of fire energy coming through. Even though it's, you know, Earth. Very masculine, very strong masculine vibes. And here's the femininity, which is, femininity talks about creativity. So definitely show the world the real you. Like, you know, your most creative and most nurturing side. Because even with Capricorns having the reputation for like working hard and, you know, being protective and kind of like no holds barred, there's definitely a part of you that is more soft for Capricorns that I've known. My father being a Capricorn, I know that that soft side is usually hidden under the hard exterior. But this is calling for you to show the other side. You know, it's a caring nature that the world needs to see. Not everybody in the world, you know, use discernment, but definitely tap into it. Now these ones, it's a new deck, so I have to see what the... Sorry. Grab the other ones over here. Where is my baby? I just misplaced the whole thing. Okay, so for Mars energy, it's coming up. You see that, man? It's very masculine energies, very fierce, you know, very warrior type. Number 17 breaks down to 8, abundance. This shows me a very, like a warrior, a soldier, someone fierce, makes money, you know, gets paid well. This person is Let's see how he's emerging from something in Neptune, and that's the number 3. It's 21, which breaks down to 3 when you add them together, and that is the completion of a cycle. Look at, he's emerging from something from that doesn't serve him, that's in the past, and he's ready to evolve into something else. So let me just give you the true definitions, excuse me, textbook wise, for Mars and Neptune. So for the sun, earlier, the sun is strongly associated with your birthday, the day you came into being, and represents the need to express your sense of self. Other issues involve variations of this, such as self-image, self-esteem, individuality, identity, exactly. So it's talking about, you know, show your real you, self-esteem, individuality, identity, and personal creativity, exactly. Ideas about paternal figures and authority might be indicated if the sun card appears. So possibly thinking about a male figure in your life, or reflecting on the ones that you have, like sons that look up to you as a male figure. Okay, the next one is Mars. Excuse me. Mars is associated with the Mars of God of War. Mars represents some very powerful drives, such as competitiveness, assertiveness, and aggression. See, I knew it. Issues about courage, confidence, passion, strength are a part of Mars's domain. So Mars, very territorial. You know, that's why I think it's asking for you to show a more feminine side. Not, you know, maybe you've been going through some things where you had to buck up your chest a little bit more, you know, like in the jungle, King of the Jungle, and other male energies, or just people testing you. And it's just calling for you to like separate yourself so bad where you don't have to prove anything, because you're emerging into a whole nother section in your life, like a whole nother part that's about to start, that's going to be lit. So it's just saying to soften down a little bit, you know, enjoy the passiveness of things, because it seems like this is a fire that hasn't just started. This started along, it's ignited from triggering things, and you know, PTSD and past trauma. This is, you know, relighting itself. So it wants to be put out by water with the Aquarius card. You know, put it out with the water yourself. Show the world you know, bathe in the emotions of water, you know, but healthy. Deal with them, you know, leave them by yourself. Okay, and the last one was Neptune. And we did Saturn already, right? Yeah. So, well, I didn't read it. So Neptune is associated with the Roman gods. Where are you at, Neptune? Neptune is associated with the Roman god Neptune, who is the ruler of the fresh and salt water of the earth. Neptune is a complex planet governing diverse human drives such as imagination, oh look at that, compassion, psychic experiences. Bundled with those ideas are issues of sacrifice and obligation. Balancing between giving and resentment can feature large on this card. See, and that's the thing, you're emerging from, we just talked about it today, doing for people, and you do it at the kindness of your heart, because that's what friends do. When it gets to the point where it's not a tit for tat game, when you know everything in life is about give and take. When you're not giving, then you're taking. When you're not taking, you're giving. So it has to be a push and pull, a balance. Everything is about dark, light, hot, cold. Without one, there's not the other, and over excessiveness on one side is just not fair. So I think you're totally understanding that resentment and emerging from, you know, not complaining about it anymore, and just allowing people to be their fake self alone. You know, you're over it. And the last one is Saturn. For Saturn, if I can find it, Saturn is associated with the Roman god Saturn, and sometimes with Father Time. Saturn is often called the hard task maker, probably because Saturn pushes us to feel ambition, set and achieve goals, and create secure lives. When we undertake these tasks, we usually learn important lessons through facing challenges. And that's the balance I was telling you about. There's something business-wise, creative that you have in the making, and it's causing you to leave other triggering people, places, and things behind so that you can focus on this thing. And it looks like you're already doing that. So that's amazing. So okay, and the last one, well, we already know about the Capricorn, but I'll read it for you because it came out. Since you are a Capricorn, and I'm now knowing this, it is Earth's practical energy takes on an almost fiery intensity with the number 10. Through its cardinal qualities, determination to succeed, leads to sometimes success and sometimes to learning lessons the hard way. The key phrase I use may that you are motivated to use whatever it is to hand order to achieve your goals. In this situation, ask, what do I want and what can I use to manifest it? Spin gold from straw. Hard work, but the sense of satisfaction is priceless. The drive to achieve is great, but there is a danger in chasing goals simply for the enhancement of your reputation. You may step on others on the way up the mountain, but avoid heartless ambition. You know, and that's the thing. We get to where we get hurt, we get to where people are stomping, and I get it, because this is what I was feeling earlier. I cannot wait to show out on these motherfuckers. But at the end of the day, my only competition and my ambition and my goals are driven by who? Me. I'm not in competition with anybody else, because if I was, I would have been got my shit right. So just like if you already have all your goals together, that's fine. But you know, if you're doing it to piss somebody off and you know, you don't, it's the petty way of a human being. It's not saying that you do it, but we have to have the right intentions and the right reasons for certain things. Otherwise we stay in a cycle of monotony and it just becomes mundane, and we never really excel to the next level. Even if we're doing really well, we could be doing better at all times. There's always an opportunity to grow. So